Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a very highly requested video from you guys. It is a makeup dupes video. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to take really high-end products and products that are like really hyped up and really popular but they're expensive, and I'm going to find a really similar but cheaper alternative for those products. So I have about 5 or 6 of them in this video, and if you guys would like to see what they are, then please keep watching. And if you do like these videos, then please like and share and subscribe and comment and all that stuff. So anyway, just keep watching. Okay, first I'm going to start off with lip products. I'm just going to come right out of the gate. This is probably one of the most exciting finds for me that I've found yet, because I have been on the hunt for this forever. It is a dupe for the Kylie Koko lip kit. You guys always ask me what I'm wearing on my lips, and it's most of the time I'm wearing this. This is my favorite lip product of all time. This is my favorite shade of all time for my lips. It's the perfect shade. I would buy 1,000 of these if I could. And I think I've found a pretty similar dupe. It's a good color dupe, not a formula dupe. I don't think it's a formula dupe. Let me show you a swatch of the Koko lip kit. I am like almost out of this. That's really scary. So the dupe that I found for the Kylie Cosmetics Koko matte lipstick is actually a $3 or $4 liquid lipstick from the drugstore. This is from Jordana. It is the Sweet Cream Matte Liquid Lipstick. So this, like I said, is so cheap. Jordana is one of the cheapest drugstore brands that you can buy. It is literally next to nothing to buy their makeup. So the fact that I found it in this is kind of crazy. So these are the swatches next to each other. I have, what do I have? This is Koko right here. And then I have the Jordana Sweet Cream, and this is in #1 Creme Brulee. The only thing I will say about the Jordana one is that I can't find this in stores. So I had to get this online. I found mine on ladymoss.com, and that's usually where I get a lot of my lashes too, by the way, for the people that ask me. So yeah, I picked this one up on that website, and I'll link it below for anybody that wants to go check it out. So this is an awesome dupe. It doesn't last as long, and it does turn a little bit pinker, like it pulls a little bit pinker instead of cool on your lips, but that's a pretty good dupe if you ask me. And I'm very, very selective about my dupes. Okay, so the next makeup dupe that I have is for the Nars lip gloss in Orgasm. So this one is not cheap. I don't know why a lip gloss would ever be this much money, but it is, and it's a cult favorite for whatever reason. So I will swatch it right here. I heard that Kris Jenner is a huge fan of this lip gloss, and I always wondered like what she was wearing on her lips, because her lips are like the most glossy lips I've ever seen in my life. So wow, I have to really layer this up. That's the Nars Orgasm, and it has a lot of, it's like a pinky nude gloss with a lot of like gold reflex in it. So the dupe that I found for it is another extremely cheap brand and product. Is the Wet n Wild liquid lipstick, metallic liquid lipstick, and My Two Lips Are Sealed. So again, I'll just swatch it right next to it. So yeah, you would use less of this one and you would pay way less. So I don't even, and plus lip glosses don't last that long anyway, so you can see those. That's pretty close. I mean, I'm definitely probably just gonna get I would get the Wet n Wild for sure. I don't know why you'd pay that much for a Nars lip gloss unless you're like obsessed with Nars and you have to have every product. Because I found a brow product, and you guys have finally been asking me what I use for my brows because they finally look good, and they didn't used to in the past. They looked pretty rank or jank, or they looked like something. They looked bad, let's just say that. I changed my product. I was using the Brow Wiz, and I still like that one a lot, and I can like get them to look pretty good. But I actually really like the Smashbox Brow Tech, and I use mine in taupe. It's a matte Brow Tech from Smashbox. It has a tip like this, if you guys can see, and you just kind of crank it up, and then on the end there's a little thing like this. I did find a really cheap dupe for it. It's the ColourPop Brow Pencil, and I got this one also in taupe, I believe. Yeah, dope taupe. So same little applicator, except this is white packaging, obviously. Look at those two applicators. I will say this one's a little bit harder to work with, but this is $5 and this one is, I'll link it below. This is a lot more, let me tell you. So, I mean, that is the same packaging, you guys. There's a spoolie on the end of both of them. This one, like I said, it's a little bit more pigmented, but if you're careful and you just use a little bit of a lighter hand, it looks exactly the same as this. So I will probably end up getting this one again when I run out of both of these, and I'll be totally fine. I won't even be able to see the difference. Okay, next dupe I have is, actually I found two dupes. Well, it's, yeah, two dupes inside of one palette for two Urban Decay eyeshadows that are, these are probably two of their best sellers, if not their #1 best sellers. I have Smog and I have Lounge. So Smog is like a really bronzy color, and you probably have, you know, been able to swatch this if you have the, this is in the Naked palette, and I think it's in the Naked 2 palette. I'm not really sure. And then I also have Lounge, which is a duochrome. It's kind of reminds me of like MAC Blue Brown, or Buxom has one. I think it's called Faux. So let me swatch both of these. They're both really pretty eyeshadows. I would like to do a tutorial with these eventually one day. So what duochrome means is that when you move your hand, or if you move in the light, it kind of changes colors, or it has a different undertone. So when you move and when the light hits it, so you can see that it's kind of brown, kind of blue. It's so cool. And then there's Smog. So two really pretty colors. Urban Decay shadows are really good, but they cost a lot of money. They're like 20 bucks each for single, so that's like really expensive. And then I found two dupes of these in one palette, and it is the Wet n Wild. Again, such a cheap brand. I think this is only like $6 or something like that. And you get two dupes in it, which is crazy. This is what it looks like. It comes with 8 shadows. And the first one I'll do, so the crease color on this side is a dupe for Smog, and I'll put it right next to it so you guys can see. I mean, these are super pigmented too. So you can see right there, I put the Wet n Wild one right underneath it. How weird is that? And then the one down here, the definer shade. The really cool thing I will say about duochrome shadows is that they have the ability to change when you put a different base underneath it. So let me just show you really quick. I'm going to put a white base underneath, and then I'm going to put a black base. I'm going to take Lounge really quick and put it over the white base. So you can kind of see how much darker it is when you put a black base down, and then this one looks, see, you can see that those two look really similar now. That was the Wet n Wild, and then that one's the Lounge over a white base. Just a little quick tip in the middle of this video, but let's move on to the next dupe. Next, let's do a dupe that you guys have been probably waiting for or want to see especially. So I'm going to show you the swatches of this one that are in the Morphe palette, just so you guys can see. Like I said, there's not a black shade. I've said this before in my last Kyshadow video versus Shan XO palette, that there's not a black in the Morphe 350, but I'll just show you kind of the similar shades swatched next to each other so you can see. So first I'm going to swatch this little shade next to, I'm going to do this one. So that's the two. So I put the Morphe one right here, and then I put the Kylie one right here. I actually found that the Morphe one was a little bit more pigmented straight away. I had to layer up the Kylie one a little bit. So I'm going to swatch this shade and against the Kylie shade so you guys can see that they're a little bit similar. Okay, so I have the Morphe shade. I have a Morphe shade here, and then I have a Morphe shade here. This is that really shimmery one, the third one over. And then this one is the Kylie shadow in the middle. I think I don't like it because it's so similar to my skin tone, but even after using Fix Plus, I still don't think it's that pigmented, and I just don't think it's that great. Next, I'm going to swatch this one up here so you guys can see. I'm going to swatch it against this one down here because this one's actually a little bit less pigmented and the other one is a little bit more pigmented than I thought it would be. So those are those two together. I know they're not that similar, but okay, I'm going to swatch this shade next to this shade. I think that's the closest one in this palette to that shade. Okay, so I have the Morphe one right here, and then I have the Kylie one right here. Hers are a little bit more satiny. This one's a little bit more shimmery in real life. You can kind of see the two next to each other. So now I'm going to do the orange shade, and I'm going to actually mix these two together to make like that perfect orange shade. So you can get the orange shade out of the Morphe palette if you just mix those two together. I got pretty close. I mean, that's pretty good when you mix the colors together. So you could easily get that orange shade from the Kylie palette out of that. I'm going to swatch this shade versus this shade so you can see. So this is the Kylie shade, and then this is the Morphe shade. Those are pretty dang close. Finally, I'm going to do this shade against this shade in the Morphe palette. So there's the Kylie shade, and then there's the Morphe shade. Pretty close. And finally, I'm going to do this one, this last shade down here. Like I said, there's not a black in the Morphe 350, but there is this one in the Morphe 350 that is a dupe. And I'm going to swatch it against this one right here. And that's a pretty good match. So that's those two together. This one is the Kylie one, and then this one is the Morphe. Okay, so that is all the swatches next to each other. You guys can see that you can, most of the shades, I would say, all of them except for one or two are pretty much dead on. I would say actually all of them except for one, except for the black, since there's no black. So I would say this is a really good dupe if you don't have the money for the Kylie palette, which it comes out to about $50 for only 9 eyeshadows, and then you want to get the Morphe palette. I would say do it. You can create the same exact looks, and it's pretty much the same pigmentation, if not better, plus you get all of these eyeshadows, so you guys can kind of make the call for yourself, I guess. But unless you're a total diehard Kylie fan, I would get the Morphe 350. Okay, the last dupe I have is for the St. Tropez Self-Tanning Bronzing Mousse in Dark. So this is actually the dupe that I'm most excited about because I am somebody who self-tans all the time. And if you are a self-tanner, then you will really appreciate this because this is not cheap. This is like $44. It hurts me every time I had to buy this. It's really good and it's an awesome product, but $44 is a lot to be spending when you have to buy so many of these and they run out really quickly because you're using it all the time and it's your whole body that you're self-tanning. So the dupe that I found is only $13. You buy it at Ulta, and it's the St. Maurice self-tanner in dark. So this one is a little bit less green than the St. Tropez, which is fine. I mean, I really don't care at all. It still comes out looking extremely natural. This one I actually prefer a little bit better. It dries faster and you're not sitting around waiting for it to and it's feeling sticky. You don't have that with this one. So I actually prefer this one over the St. Tropez. I will never buy the St. Tropez again. I will always stick to the St. Maurice. This is an amazing product. I cannot believe I found it. It has changed my life now that I found it. I have already bought 3 bottles of it and it's like seriously almost like 3 times less than this one is. So that's just crazy to me. Anyway, this is the best dupe I found in a long time. If you guys have any other dupes, then please leave them in the comments below. But yeah, that is all I have for this dupes video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.